A son of embattled music mogul Sean Diddy Combs has been accused of sexual assault. A lawsuit filed in L.A. Superior Court on Thursday accuses Christian King Combs of sexually assaulting and possibly drugging a woman in December 2022. The woman says it happened while she was working on a yacht that Diddy had chartered. This comes just over a week after homes owned by Diddy were raided in L.A. and Miami as part of a federal human trafficking investigation. Neither the attorneys for Combs or Diddy have commented on the new legal complaint.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. Drop a shout out in the comments below and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe to stay up to date with the latest in Hollywood goodness. Hope you all enjoy what comes next.
Lawsuit is bad for Diddy. He may be able to get out of it, but the optics are terrible when he's already facing a criminal investigation. This may be the nail in the coffin for him.
The courtroom was dead silent. You could hear the click of a photographer's camera, then boom. One accusation, minors at freakoffs. Christian Combs' skin turned 3 shades lighter. He pushed back his chair so fast it scraped the floor, then stormed out like a man trying to physically outrun a scandal. No press statement, no nervous laugh, no PR lifeline. Just sheer instinct. Get the hell out. And when someone bails that fast in front of flashing cameras and 300 reporters, you know the iceberg is much, much bigger than what we can see. Because what exploded that day wasn't just one man's career, it was the entire Combs empire, crumbling before our eyes.
In a new lawsuit, Sean Diddy Combs' second son, Christian Combs, is accused of sexually assaulting a crew member working on a super yacht. That suit was filed here in Los Angeles. Attorneys representing former yacht stewardess Grace O'Markey say she was sexually assaulted on board a yacht when she was 25 years old in December of 2022 by Diddy's son, rapper Christian Combs. They say his dad, Sean Combs, leased the yacht and had full control of its staff and the premises. O'Markey's lawyers say Combs turned what was sold as a wholesome family excursion into a hedonistic environment. They stated, quote, defendant Sean Combs fostered and encouraged an environment of debauchery. There was always a party atmosphere filled with suspected sex workers, suspected laced alcohol, violence, and sheer disrespect of women and the yacht's crew. The lawsuit also contains photos of bruises that O'Markey's lawyers say she suffered when Christian Combs violently grabbed her and attempted to force her to perform a sex act. They also included a transcript of an audio recording which they say captures O'Markey being forced to consume suspected laced shots of tequila.
Let's get something clear. Courtrooms aren't supposed to feel like movie premieres. But when Christian's attorney mentioned allegations involving minors at yacht parties, it was like someone dropped a live grenade in the room. Photographers' lenses fired like machine guns. Journalists flipped open laptops so fast you'd think they were launching missiles. And Christian? The man didn't even blink. He just stood up, stiff as a board, and walked out. Not a side glance at his attorney. Not a fake cough to compose himself. Gone. And here's the thing. You can pay a crisis PR team to spin bad news. But body language? You can't fake that. Christian's storm out was the biggest confession he didn't realize he was making. Because if you're innocent, you sit there and fight. If you're guilty, or if you know worse is coming, you run.
The victim in the case has produced audio recordings that allegedly shows forcing himself upon her and that he wouldn't take no for an answer.
Now, let's zoom in on that yacht, because this wasn't exactly a Disney cruise. Grace O'Markey thought she signed up for an easy gig. Serve drinks, smile at some rich folks, maybe snap a few celeb selfies. Instead, she boarded a floating fever dream. She described cocktails so spiked people dropped after one sip. She talked about random guests that weren't just celebrities. They looked and acted like sex workers pulled straight from Craigslist, if Craigslist had a VIP nightmare section. And Christian, not exactly playing the gentleman host, Grace claims he crossed boundaries so fast it was less flirting and more target practice. Groping, forcing tequila shots, ignoring every verbal no like it was just background noise. And if her taped recordings are legit, there's physical evidence, bruises, slurred speech. Christian's voice caught mid-harassment. Not exactly family trip vibes, more like Freaky Friday meets Law and Order, SVU.
O'Markey reportedly told Christian, quote, "Excuse me, you don't touch my legs like that. I'll move my legs where I want to. If I want to do this, then I will. You don't touch my legs like that." O'Markey then says that she told Christian she couldn't stay with him unless it was approved by a supervisor, all of whom she knew would be asleep at the time, so this was a way for her to get out of the situation. She claims that Christian said, "Who can I talk to? I'm going to say I requested you right now." O'Markey then says she responded with, quote, "Well, you can take your hand off my ass for the first thing.
When Grace sued, she didn't just toss around accusations. She filed a lawsuit that reads like the opening statement at a war crimes tribunal. We're talking assault, battery, sexual harassment, emotional devastation so severe it caused seizures. The kicker? She didn't just sue Christian, she roped in Diddy himself, arguing he created and controlled the toxic environment. And just to hammer it home, audio tapes attached, photos of bruises attached, witness statements ready to fly. This wasn't he said, she said. This was he said she had receipts. And when a civil case has this much hard evidence, criminal prosecutors start circling like sharks smelling blood. Fast forward to March 2025. Suddenly, it's not just whispers in courtrooms, it's full-blown federal raids. Homeland Security stormed Diddy's mansions in LA, Miami, and New York. Think, agents rappelling down walls, drones buzzing the rooftops, SUVs lined up like it was the set of Narcos. Inside, they found guns, encrypted laptops, and a disturbingly large stash of party supplies no one wanted to explain. Seriously, when you need a forklift for your lube collection? That's not a good sign. Christian, caught in the crossfire, cuffed against the wall, pressed flat like a bad GTA character model, no charges filed? Yet. But trust me, if the feds bother cuffing you on camera, it's not because they're making a TikTok.
Check this out, y'all. This is Diddy. This is my son, King Combs. I've been watching my pop since I was a kid. And I'm proud of you, boy.
Christian wasn't just riding his father's coattails. He had his own thing going. Top 40 hits, fashion collabs, endorsements lined up like bowling pins. But overnight, every headline stapled his name to words like lawsuit, minors, and trafficking scandal. You know it's bad when TMZ stops using your promo photos and starts using your mugshot side profiles? Christian tried to play it cool, posted a slick little Instagram caption, "Stop with the caps." Translation, "Please stop calling me guilty." But silence doesn't look strong when you've been served subpoenas for breakfast. It looks like surrender. And the fans, they're not buying the misunderstood artist narrative anymore. They smell blood, and the sharks are circling. Let's tear off the polite band-aid. Freakoffs weren't just wild parties. They were industrial-scale, blackmail-grade sex shows. According to prosecutors, these weren't just fun events. They were orchestrated performances, complete with underage participants, laced drinks, cameras rolling, and cash flying like confetti. And Diddy's kids? Not innocent bystanders, recruiting guests, paying suppliers, handing out party favors, sometimes filming. The Combs family wasn't just hosting the madness, they were the madness. And when even your RICO indictment has a nickname, the Combs Enterprise. You're not getting invited back to the Grammys, buddy. You're getting fitted for a jumpsuit.
Profile case. It's good to see you once again. So I don't think we've had a chance to talk about this lawsuit. And now that the news is reporting that Christian has been served with papers here, why is that significant?
Well, it's significant because anytime that they have the opportunity to continue to remind the public of the malfeasance of Diddy, of Diddy's son, of anything related to sexually inappropriate behavior, sexual assault, it helps. It helps the government continue to, lay out the narrative of how bad Diddy was, how bad Diddy's son was. So I think it's consistent with, what they've been doing.
In federal law, there's a trick called a superseding indictment. It's basically the feds saying, "Oh, you thought that was all? Here's 20 more charges and 10 new defendants." Christian is sitting squarely in the crosshairs, because when you're named in a civil suit with physical evidence and your dad is facing criminal charges for related behavior, you don't just walk it off. Prosecutors will happily turn Christian into a pawn, pressuring Diddy to plead guilty in exchange for keeping his kids out of a cell block. You know what's worse than prison? Watching your son go there too, and prosecutors know it. Meanwhile, Diddy's posting baby photos. Christian's uploading cryptic motivational quotes. The family is trying desperately to sell normal, but the real world is reading sealed court filings, leaked depositions, and yacht guest lists. Discovery is coming, emails, manifests, texts, video footage, all about to be dissected by lawyers who could smell a lie 3 cities away. And every day Christian stays silent, he doesn't look strong. He looks trapped, like a man standing on a sinking ship, pretending it's just a little rain. Spoiler alert, the freak-off storm is only getting started. Christian's courtroom sprint wasn't just a dramatic moment, it was a live-action confession. And while the Combs family may still have billions, connections, and flashy lawyers, none of that buys your way out when the tapes are rolling, the subpoenas are flying, and the public already made up its mind. The real tragedy? This empire wasn't destroyed by outside enemies. It was self-inflicted. The only question now, who else gets dragged under before the final freak-off curtain falls? If you think this story's already crazy, buckle up. This is just the first act. Hit like if you're ready for more. Subscribe if you want every leaked tape, sealed record, and bombshell that drops. And tell me in the comments, is Christian doomed by his silence? Or will the Combs family find a way to outspin even this? Stay tuned, because the real fireworks haven't even started yet.